To Be Like Jesus, written by Ellen G. White.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer that calls me from a world of care and bids me at my Father's throne, makes all my wants and wishes known. In seasons of distress and grief, my soul has often found relief and oft escaped the tempter's snare by thy return, sweet hour of prayer.
The Blessings of Obedience, February 15th. Joy in loving obedience.
You were perfect in your ways from the day you were created, till iniquity was found in you. You became filled with violence within, and you sinned. Ezekiel 28, verse 15 and 16.
So long as all created beings acknowledged the allegiance of love, there was perfect harmony throughout the universe of God. It was the joy of the heavenly host to fulfill the purpose of their Creator. They delighted in reflecting His glory and showing forth His praise. And while love to God was supreme, love for one another was confiding and unselfish. There was no note of discord to mar the celestial harmonies, but a change came over his happy state.
There was one who perverted the freedom that God had granted to His creatures. Sin originated with him. Next to Christ, had been most honored of God and was the highest in power and glory among the inhabitants of heaven. Lucifer, son of the morning, was first of the covering cherubs, holy and undefiled. He stood in the presence of the great Creator, and the ceaseless beams of glory enshrouding the eternal God rested upon him.
Little by little, Lucifer came to indulge the desire of self-exaltation. Though all his glory was from God, this mighty angel came to regard it as pertaining to himself. Not content with his position, though honored above the heavenly host, he ventured to covet homage due alone to the Creator. Instead of seeking to make God supreme in the affections and allegiance of all created beings, it was his endeavor to secure their service and loyalty to himself. And coveting the glory with which the infinite Father had invested his Son, the Prince of Angels aspired to power that was the prerogative of Christ alone.
The law of love being the foundation of the government of God, the happiness of all intelligent beings depends on their perfect accord with its great principles of righteousness. God desires from all His creatures the service of love, service that springs from an appreciation of His character. He takes no pleasure in a forced obedience, and to all He grants freedom of will, that they may render Him voluntary service. Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, may I thy consolation share, till from Mount Picca's lofty height I view my home and take my flight. In my immortal flesh I'll rise to seize the everlasting prize, and shout while passing through the air, farewell, farewell, sweet hour of prayer. Join us tomorrow for another devotional reading by God's grace. Now may the peace which surpasses all understanding keep your hearts and minds on Jesus.